We have come to what many students find as their favorite project of the year. This is the platform game where you're going to design your own. Super Mario's is one option, but there's actually other options for this platform game. A platform game is just anything where there's different levels that students are going to do. Generally, or that the sprite is going to jump through. Generally, there's like suspended platforms, which is why it's called a platform game. There's hazards, there's things that'll kill you, enemy characters, whatever. There's special power ups, different things, and you get to design all of that. So some details, you have to have a controllable sprite. So there's some sort of Mario or other not Mario, just figure, and that needs to face the right directions when you push the right keys. There also needs to be some sort of animated walk in place. So you're going to need multiple costumes when you hold the left and the right. And then there should be some sort of jump that you get to make however you want it to make. You're designing it. You're going to have some scenery. The scenery needs to move. And there's some cool ways to do this with parallax and not parallax. I'm going to show you some examples. The easiest is actually to have two scenery sprites that move on different layers with Mario. Mario needs to always be in the front. He's not hiding behind things. And the scenery moves based on how Mario's moving. And you'll see in some examples in just a second. There needs to be an on-ground enemy, and then the enemy's going to move towards Mario, and Mario it needs to be able to get away from it, and then the enemy needs to reappear if he hits the edge, and he is always animated and moving in some way. If he runs into the enemy, then you're going to want to have something that makes Mario die. So some things to keep in mind, you want to make sure you're using start and stop blocks so that if you push the green flag, it'll start from the beginning. Make sure that your state is initialized properly at the beginning. That means that when I end, I should be able to restart without any issues. You want to have comments in your code so it's easy to understand. And then you also want to make sure that you're keeping in mind all of the other good programming things. So there's some extensions in here to get you extra credit. There's lots of points available. So read through the rubric and you'll see how that all is going to work. So some examples. First, in Google Classroom, there is a link that will take you to this project here. And this is some starter code. It has a whole bunch of sprites with costumes. So if you don't want to spend time trying to make your own costumes or find your own costumes, this has a Mario stationary, Mario walking, Mario jumping, Mario falling. So you can use these different. There's also Goomba with some Goomba stationary and walking. We have Boo with his tongue down and his tongue up. The piranha that opens and closes. There's a goal. There's some hills. There's a ground platform that is helpful for figuring out where the ground is, so you can make gravity work. Some signposts to tell people where to go. Floating platform, you can duplicate this and make lots of platforms if you need it. There's yellow block, there's coins, there's a stage that has the background that is very traditional Mario. You're welcome to use this. You don't have to. But I did want you to know that it was here, and it has some this is information about the sprites that it tells you what is there, and Boo is hidden right now. So just check the starter scripts that are there to make sure that you know what you're doing. Now, on to the more fun part. Let's show you some examples of what this could look like. So this sample solution actually comes from the Teals program. This is not Mario, clearly, and I need to remember what the keys are. So you can see the dog walks, the dog jumps, and needs to avoid the bat. The stars are a power-up that I just missed. I might die. Oh, I died. Ah! So I can push the green flag and start again. What I want you to notice is that the dog is actually staying in the same location on the stage at all times. And the sprites, the other things, are moving. But if I get the star, do you see how now it says invincible true, and he's gone to a lighter mode, and if he were to run into this bat, he will be okay. He won't die. So these are different characteristics that are going on here. And this, I actually don't remember if I don't think there's even a score there. I don't think there's an end. This just keeps going. And so that would be an ideal way to keep your code so that it can just keep going and keep being played. I can keep jumping. Notice when I push space while he's in the air, you can hear me clicking it. It only works when he hits the ground. And so that's going to be some tricky programming for you. That if you can make it so that he only is jumping when he can only head upward when he's on the ground. Now, this might make you think of a game called Flappy Bird. If you would like to, instead of programming a platform game, program Flappy Bird, it works exactly the same way. It's still parallax, but he moves both directions, and he can jump with the space button. But you'll notice that his location, his X location, is not actually changing, and so that's actually how Flappy Bird works too. The background is what's moving. It recycles. I can go back the other way, and the ground and those sprites will come back. Uh-oh. So there's that game. Next, we have a student's version here. Mario can walk. Goomba walks toward him. I don't remember how he jumps. So this person, if you jump on top of Goomba, you die. And that is one way that you can program it. A slightly more tricky version is that if you jump on top of Goomba, Goomba dies. Good luck with that. I would love to see what you can do. This one, again, is not parallax. Mario is moving, and things are moving toward him. And then you're going to need to know what you're going to do. Oh, I'm going to die again. You need to know what happens when he hits the edge of the stage. Oh, I figured out how to smash Goomba on this one. And when I hit the edge, I believe that the scenery is all going to change. Yep. And now we can pick up some coins. So this is not quite in the project specs. This is not set up exactly the way the project wanted it, but it will work because it has all of the other things that happen. All right. Next, this is an example of parallax with my Mario, except it's actually Link. Link? I don't know. I'm not up on the characters. So she jumps when I push the up. But you can see that there's lots of different things happening in this. You're going to run into some glitches like what just happened there where she lands in the middle of something and I won. So just be aware that there's going to be some glitches where things don't work exactly as you want. Get it working, and then we'll work on getting it working exactly how you want it to. So that is an example of parallax. This is an example of an interesting parallax. So right now, Mario can run back and forth in the middle of the stage here, and nothing happens. But if I get to a certain edge, so Mario sort of has a control box. Oh, I can't remember what jump is in this game. Mario has an interesting control box in the middle of the screen. So when Mario hits that, then we go into the background starts moving. So this is kind of an upgraded version of that background moves, person doesn't. So Mario has a little bit more running room in the middle here where nothing really seems to happen. But then when I hit the edge, and I just ran off the screen because I broke it. But this is harder, hence how I broke it. So just be aware of that. That would be a fun way to try. Last bit, this version, we move up instead of moving down. They notice that it says press R and then the green flag to reset. Ideally, you don't need to push more than one thing. You want it to just be the one thing. But this version, I'm so bad at this version. But I want you to see the space because this person figured out how to, I died again. They figured out how to I don't think I'm going to be able to show you because I just am really terrible at video games in general. There we go. How to go up. Oh dear. So this has an interesting tricks that you have to keep track of as well. So this is totally allowed. Welcome to do that. Have fun. Be creative. It doesn't have to look like anybody else's. Make it your own. It does not have to look like Mario. You can pick your own sprites. Do whatever you want to make it cool. I look forward to your submissions.